Hello, Joe here from Scarff Ford. Today we're going to talk about this 2023 Tesla Model Y long-range all-wheel drive. Let's dive in. The Tesla Model Y kind of snuck onto the scene for the 2020 model year, and since then it's moved on to be the best-selling vehicle in the whole entire world for the 2023 and 2024 model years. Not best-selling EV, best-selling vehicle in the whole entire world. So the good news is that EV technology is here for the mainstream for an EV to be the best-selling vehicle in the whole world. And it is a fantastic proposition if you're considering one for your next vehicle. The Model Y is largely based off the Model 3, which is a compact sedan. I actually have a Model 3 myself for the past 3 years. And they're great, but the Model Y is about 30% larger. It's basically a crossover version of the Model 3. It has lots of interior space. The way the Model Y is constructed, since you're not hampered by the conventional construction of an internal combustion engine vehicle, of an engine, drive shafts, gas tanks, exhaust systems, all that stuff, it allows for a clean sheet design. So you have more interior space, more cargo space than a comparable sized compact crossover that's powered by a gasoline engine. The Model Y is also one of the safest vehicles that you can buy. One of the safest crossover SUVs. There's a number of different reasons. It has passive and active safety features. The way it's constructed makes it safe. The technology like the Ford emergency braking, Autopilot, available full self-driving, all these things that make this vehicle one of the safest vehicles on the road. Another safety feature is the front. Not only does it give you more cargo space, but it actually is a safety feature because you have all this space to absorb cross energy in a frontal collision. You have a crumple zone that's 60% larger than a car with an engine in the front. You don't have a big aluminum or iron block to get pushed inside the passenger compartment during frontal collisions. Also, the weight of the battery makes it very safe. It's like a keel, it's like an anchor keeping this thing planted to the ground. It has a very, very low rollover risk. And when a vehicle rolls over, that can greatly increase your chances of serious injury. This has the upgraded 20-inch induction wheels. Looks really nice. We've seen a few different versions of the Model Y over the last few years. You could see a long range, a standard range. So the long range obviously has a bigger battery. This has a fully charged range of a little over 300 miles. You can also find them in rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. The rear-wheel drive one just has a single electric motor in the back, which is fine and dandy, but if you need all-wheel drive traction, you're gonna wanna get a dual motor version like this one, which has a motor in the front and a motor in the back, giving it all-wheel drive. Also giving it amazing performance. That's like having two engines. This thing does 0 to 60 under 5 seconds. And with EVs, you don't have any engines to rev to a power band. You don't need a transmission to downshift or search for the right gear. There's only one gear in this thing, so this thing takes off like a slot car. It's like an electric, it's like an electric RC car. The way this thing accelerates, it's just instantaneous throttle response. Unlike the experience of driving a performance gas car, it's a completely different thing. It's a very practical everyday vehicle, but it's also very fun and entertaining to drive if you want it to be. We have a power liftgate, a huge cargo area. You can fold down those rear seats for more cargo space, and it has a camp mode so you can camp in it. Actually works really good. We have a nice cargo area cover that's easily removable. There's a storage pocket on that side, a deep storage pocket on that side. It's not much light here, so it's kind of hard to see. And under here, we have a sub-trunk, so you have even more cargo space. And then in here, we have even more cargo space. Between the front here, you have big cargo, you have big storage, you have big storage areas also in the front. Look at all this legroom, completely flat floor. I'm 6'2", I had that front seat adjusted for my height. I have a ton of headroom, ton of legroom. Look how much legroom and headroom I have. It is gigantic in here. You have this huge glass roof panel, lots of natural light inside. Definitely elevates your mood in the kind of wet, dreary weather we have here in the Pacific Northwest with those overcast days. Having more ambient light is gonna make you happier. I'm doing pretty good on my time, but sometimes I can go 20 minutes on these Tesla videos just because they're so different. Most vehicles are mechanical. This is more digital. This is like a supercomputer on wheels. It literally is like a supercomputer. The infotainment system and the full self-driving computer is powered by an advanced processor. It actually is so advanced, it actually has a cooling system, the same cooling system that they use to thermally manage the batteries, also cools the computer system that powers the screen in the full self-driving computer. So we're dealing with a situation here that is pretty much unlike any other situation that you'll find on any vehicle. That's why I say this is like a smartphone on wheels. I mean, it's mind-boggling how more advanced in this area that Teslas are. You know, regular car manufacturers, they're great at making mechanical things. Tesla just doesn't build cars, they're also a tech company. They make their firmware, their software, they make their mobile control unit. They make a lot of things in-house where a lot of other manufacturers rely on other companies to make them. Then they cobble them together in their production facilities. You know, most car manufacturers, you know, they'll make the engines, they'll stamp the body panels and things like that, but a lot of components, the screens, the switches and stuff like that, even the seats. Tesla is actually one of the only car manufacturers that makes their own seats. So Tesla is vertically integrated. Tesla's vertical integration means that all the way from the factory to the dealership, it's all Tesla. Where most other auto manufacturers, they rely on parts distributors, OEMs, to make the parts. Then they rely on a dealer network owned by other people to sell the vehicles. When you go to a Tesla service facility or you go to a Tesla dealership to buy or purchase a Tesla, you're dealing factory direct from Tesla. When you go to most other dealerships, aside from companies like Lucid and Rivian, pretty much every other dealership you're going to that is owned by a person or a company like Penske or AutoNation. It's not owned by the manufacturer. It's a franchise dealer network. So basically Tesla's like factory direct, vertically integrated, and the way their company is designed, that allows for an innovative approach to their vehicles, and I think it's paid in dividends. I have a love for all vehicles. Obviously I work at a Ford dealership, so I'm not, you know, hating on everyone else. I love Teslas, I own a Tesla, but I also own a Ford. You know, there's space for everybody to play in this field. It's not just winner takes all. You know, some people need gas cars, some people need a diesel truck, some people want a Bronco, Sasquatch to go rock crawling deep in the mountains where there's not charging. So in those cases, yeah, you know, maybe an EV might not be the best choice for those people, but for an everyday commuter vehicle, this Model Y is a fantastic proposition for a lot of people. So the majority of the functionality is in the screen, and that is by design. It's devoid of hard buttons and knobs, which some people ridicule, but when you have a hard button and knob, guess what? It is there forever. It's not being updated. This screen is infinitely reconfigurable. In fact, there's an update to download right now. Tesla, you know, they move at the speed of light, where it can take months and sometimes almost a year to do updates, fix recalls, improve things. Tesla has in-house programmers. Tesla has in-house coders that can make updates, new software and features, and they can roll out over their updates in a matter of days. A lot of times when there's a recall and you're required to take the vehicle to the dealership to get the recall fixed, a lot of times Tesla can just send you an over their update and your car just connects to your home Wi-Fi, gets an update, boom, that recall's fixed. There's a lot of misinformation out there about Teslas, and obviously they're not perfect. They do have flaws and shortcomings just like everything else, but there's a lot of misinformation and a lot of people that don't understand them, even the auto press. I love car magazines. Car and Driver is one of my favorite car magazines, and I'm not singling out any specific person or journalist, but a lot of these people, they might drive a Tesla for a day or two and they think they know everything about it and write a scathing article. I've bought and sold hundreds of Teslas over the last like 6 years. I've owned a Tesla for 3 years. I don't know everything. I'm not the foremost expert, you know, but I know a lot more than a lot of other people and a lot more than a lot of these automotive journalists. For instance, you know, going back to the screen, they ridicule them for having to, you know, go through the screen to, you know, make changes and stuff. Well, you don't always need to do that. You can just, you can do voice commands. There's 140 different voice commands that you can do. Wipers on 1. Wipers off. Rear defroster on. Rear defroster off. Make it cooler. Make it cooler. Make it warmer. So as you can see, you don't need to swipe through the screen to do all this stuff. You can not even look away from the road and you can do voice commands. I remember at one point, Ian opined a few years ago, well, maybe one day you can have a relationship with your Tesla. Your car can be your friend, like Kit on Knight Rider. Well, guess what? That day has come. We have Grok available. We need premium connectivity activated on this vehicle, which is like 10 bucks a month, drop in a bucket. Allows you to beam LTE cell data right to the vehicle so you can stream music, watch videos. Well worth it. I'd pay the 10 bucks a month for my own Tesla, but I will give you a little Grok demo that I have from a different Tesla. Hi Grok, I'm making a video about this Model Y. We're Scarff Ford, and I'm making a video for our YouTube, to put on YouTube, and I'm just telling about all the things you can do with Grok. Can you tell our viewers all the things that we can do with you while we're driving?
Hey, love that you're spotlighting the Model Y. Scarff Ford's got taste. While we're cruising, you folks can chat with me hands-free, ask for trivia, jokes, or even wild stories to keep the drive fun. I can hunt down quick facts, like best coffee spots nearby, or explain random stuff, say, why the sky's blue. Pick my vibe to go unhinged for laughs, or keep it chill. Just don't expect me to steer or crank the tunes. That's on Tesla's built-in voice thing. Got a demo idea? Let's brainstorm.
I said in my video that the Model Y is one of the safest vehicles, crossover SUVs on the road. Is that true?
Yeah, that's spot on. The Model Y's racked up top marks everywhere. It snagged the IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus for like 7 years straight. 5 stars from NHTSA, Euro NCP, ANCAP, even China's safety folks. Basically, if there's a crash test, this thing aces it. Want me to rattle off the deets for your video?
Sure.
All right, quick rundown. It's got 5 stars from NHTSA across all categories. No surprise there. IIHS gave it Top Safety Pick Plus, their gold standard, for nailing crash tests like small overlap front, side impacts, and roof strength. Euro NCP, 97% adult protection, 87 for kids. ANCAP and even China's CISI match with top marks. Basically, it's built like a tank but drives like a dream. Perfect for your vid.
I also said that the Model Y is one of the best-selling vehicles in the world. Is that also true?
Yep, totally true. The Model Y's been crushing it globally. It topped 1.2 million sales last year, dethroning the Toyota Corolla for the first time in EVs done that. Even now, it's still number 1 in most rankings, like September's data shows over 140,000 units sold. Your video's gold.
I also said that the Model Y, this one features the acceleration boost upgrade as one of the fastest vehicles in its class.
Well, it's pretty darn quick, yeah. Hit 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds after that $2,000 upgrade. Puts it ahead of most crossovers like the Rivian R1S or Ford Mustang Mach-E, though the performance versions of those might edge it out. Still, for a family hauler, you're basically rocketing in style.
I also mentioned that the Model Y is one of the most technologically advanced vehicles on the road. Is that true?
Oh, absolutely. It's packed with cutting-edge stuff. Full self-driving hardware for future autonomy, over-the-air updates that actually improve it like software, a 15-inch touchscreen running everything from nav to Netflix. Plus, Autopilot's got radar, ultrasonics, and cameras galore for slick parking and lane keeping. And hey, chatting with me mid-drive? That's tech magic right there. True on all counts.
I heard since Tesla makes its own mobile control unit that it allows it to do things like this on its infotainment screen, which other car companies can't do because they don't make their own MCUs like Tesla does. Is that true?
Yeah, you're onto something. Tesla's in-house MCU, like the AMD Ryzen-powered version in newer models, gives them an edge for slick, over-the-air tweaks and seamless integration. Most rivals outsource to suppliers like NVIDIA or Qualcomm. So yeah, they lag on custom feeds. Think real-time gaming or instant updates without dealer visits. We're basically the tech rebels here, right?
Awesome, thank you so much, Grok. All right, what'd you think? Yeah. So Elon wasn't far off from a few years ago, was he? And I have a message to all you Elon haters out there. You know, I don't agree with him with everything myself. You know, politically, that's a different story, but engineering-wise, the products he's made, I'm very impressed by it. So don't deprive yourself of a wonderful vehicle just because you don't like Elon Musk. There's many hundreds of thousands of people that work for Tesla. Or don't be one of those people that has one of those dorky bumper stickers that says, I bought this before Elon went crazy, or I bought this for dog mode. Some people aren't crazy about Comcast, but we all still have Comcast. In fact, Elon might fix that with his Starlink. Man, so much stuff to talk about. So here is the information on the vehicle right here. Model Y long range dual motor, only 4,000 miles. This one was a very lightly used vehicle. This does have the full self-driving capability. till December 26th. So the previous owner was subscribing to it for 99 bucks a month, or you can buy it for $8,000. That might seem like a lot, but let me propose this to you. How would you like to have your own personal chauffeur at your beck and call 24/7 for $99 a month? You'd probably have to pay a real person like $99 an hour for that. $99 a month, you can have your own personal chauffeur. To a degree, you know, it's not at the point where you can take a nap and not completely, and not pay attention. It has a camera here, so when you're using the full self-driving, it does require you to look at the road. If I get on my cell phone too long, it doesn't take long, or I start spacing out, looking at the cows and the scenery driving by, it's gonna yell at me. But as long as you stare out the window, the vehicle will drive itself. It will get on the highway, it will get off the highway, it will make left and right hand turns, it will pass cars that are going too slow. I've driven about 30,000 miles on full self-driving, and I've seen it improve over the years. 3 years ago, it was like a 12-year-old driving. Now it's like a 17-year-old. It still needs a little bit of supervision, but it really does a great job. I have a 10-mile commute, and pretty much every day to work and back, my commute is hands-free. I don't need to touch the steering wheel. And it might not seem like a big deal, but to have the car take that workload off of you, especially night driving and rainy weather and stuff, where you're gripping the wheel and stuff, you put that autopilot on or the full self-driving, you can feel a whole weight lifted off your shoulders. You feel a little bit calmer and stuff, and you just take control. People are like, I'm too scared to let the car drive. You're right here. You hit the brake, you take over the steering wheel, boom, in a second you have control. So obviously if you see the full self-driving doing something crazy, you just take control. When you're sitting in that seat and you have your 15-year-old kid driving, you don't even have the amount of control. And this does a lot better than a 15-year-old, and it will continue to get better. There's an update to download right now. That might be an update to improve the full self-driving for all I know. So we have the cool stuff. We have an update. It looks like we have a new update. We have you can basically turn your vehicle into like a Tron motorcycle, I think. You can do Rainbow Road, have your vehicle play a light show, emissions, colorizer, boombox. You can talk through the horn. You can change the sound, like the lock sound. You can make it sound like an old school car alarm. You can talk through the horn with a scary voice. You can have some fun with that, especially on Halloween. I mean, I can go on, and that's the thing with the over-the-air updates. It's constantly improving. Like the way this screen looked like 3 years ago is different than it looks now. My Tesla was made in 2019, but the over-the-air updates, I don't have everything that this 2023 Tesla has, but with the over-the-air updates, I have a lot of the functionality. It's very similar to what this screen looks at, or a brand new 2025 or 26 Tesla. That is the amazingness of the over-the-air updates, and Tesla was one of the first companies to pioneer this technology back in 2012 when the Model S came out. I'm sure I left some stuff I didn't talk about. I could literally talk 2 hours, but go visit our YouTube page, and I have many videos on these Teslas, so what I didn't cover in this one, I could probably cover in another one, or maybe you got bored long ago and you left. But amazing vehicles, low maintenance, you're gonna save money on electricity versus gas. Teslas have proven to be very durable. There are many Teslas I'm seeing now of 200,000 miles, and they still have like 90% battery capacity. It's actually turning out that Teslas are lasting longer than internal combustion engine vehicles. I see cars come in trade all the time in the car business, and there's a lot of cars that really we don't want to sell here with over 100,000 miles. Barely over 100,000 miles. We're going to send them to the auction and just have too many problems already. There's a lot of cars that barely make it to 100,000 miles without having a lot of problems that are gas cars. EVs are just far less complex. Think about how complex an internal combustion engine is. All the parts, the emission control systems, all these things that have to work in harmony to keep the vehicle working properly. Where an EV only has dozens of moving parts. The battery and electric motors is fairly simple. It's like having an appliance. The maintenance is, tires, wiper blades, cabin filter. That's pretty much it. They do occasionally break. They do occasionally have things wrong with them. The batteries occasionally go bad. But guess what? The failure rate on Tesla batteries is like less than 1%. And this has a balance of an 8-year, 120,000 mile warranty on the batteries and the electric motors. There's not a lot of gas cars that have a 120,000 mile warranty for 8 years. Because Tesla knows that their batteries will last that long. They'd go bankrupt if they had to constantly replace batteries under warranty. So yes, I see lots of Teslas at the auction now. They've been out for a while, 150, 200,000 miles. There's Teslas out there with 300, 400, 500,000 miles still in the original batteries. Those are a little bit of the outliers, but realistically, most of the batteries on these Teslas are going to last probably 250,000 miles, maybe a little bit longer. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content. We're Scarff Ford Isuzu, in business 103 years since 1922. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.